We all know the images, the flag, the footprint, the one giant leap, but that's the public story. Now, a private telegram from Buzz Aldrin himself has been exposed, and it paints a much darker picture. It reveals the moon mission wasn't just about exploration, it was about containment. We're diving deep into this leaked message, the secret coordinates it contains, and the undeniable proof that we were never, ever told the truth. The document that unravels the lie. You see, a document has just been leaked from a private archive, a collection belonging to a little-known radio astronomer who worked with NASA on deep space tracking during the 1960s. This astronomer, who passed away in the early 2000s, kept meticulous records. Tucked away inside a personal journal was a thin, folded piece of telex paper. It wasn't an official NASA document. It was a private message, a telegram sent by Buzz Aldrin himself in 1984, almost 15 years after the moon landing. This leak didn't come from a major news network, it came from the astronomer's own grandson, who was digitizing his grandfather's files and stumbled upon it. At first he thought it was just a strange note, but as he cross-referenced the dates and names, he realized what he was holding. This telegram, to put it mildly, is the key to unlocking what really happened on the moon. The message is short, cryptic, and utterly chilling. It reads, "MD protocol is broken. They know we saw it. The silence is not empty, it watches. Do not trust tranquility-based coordinates. They moved the marker. I repeat, they moved the marker. The lie is the only thing keeping us safe. Tell no one." BA. Let's break that down. MD protocols. Many people are already speculating this stands for magnificent desolation. Think about that. We were told this was a poetic description. What if it was a prearranged code word, a protocol to be initiated if they saw something they weren't supposed to? And Aldrin is saying this protocol is broken. They know we saw it. The silence is not empty, it watches. This is the part that sends a shiver down your spine. The official story is that the moon is a dead, silent rock. Aldrin, in this private message, claims the silence itself watches. This implies not just life, but an aware presence, a presence that knew the astronauts were there. This turns the entire mission from one of exploration into one of first contact, or perhaps first intrusion. What many overlooked is Aldrin's behavior after he returned. The history books paint him as a hero, but the reality was much darker. Aldrin struggled, famously, with depression and alcoholism. The world assumed it was the crushing weight of sudden global fame. But what if it wasn't? What if it was the unimaginable terror of knowing you had encountered something truly alien and then being forced to lie about it to the entire planet? The thing nobody tells you is that this telegram lines up perfectly with Aldrin's known psychological state. It wasn't fame he was running from, it was a secret so big that he believed the lie was the only thing protecting humanity. And then the most specific part of the message, do not trust tranquility-based coordinates. They move the marker. This is the smoking gun. Aldrin is telling his confidant, the radio astronomer, that the public-facing landing site, the one NASA shows on all its maps, is wrong. He claims they moved the marker. This suggests a massive ongoing deception. Why would NASA lie about the location of the landing? The answer is simple: to hide what was really at the true landing site. This telegram isn't just a random note, it's a terrified warning from a man who saw the truth. What it watches means. This message, if authentic, recasts everything we thought we knew about Buzz Aldrin. You see, the man we saw in public, the smiling astronaut waving in parades, was a front. The real Aldrin was a man haunted not by what he did, but by what he saw. Let's look at the phrase, magnificent desolation. It's so famous, it's practically a brand. But in the context of this leaked telegram, it takes on a sinister new meaning. MD protocol is broken. A protocol is a set of rules for a procedure. This suggests magnificent desolation was a code word, a phrase Aldrin was supposed to say over the open comms to signal to a secret group within NASA that the worst-case scenario had happened. What was that scenario? They know we saw it. The silence watches. Many people are crazy about finding evidence of structures on the moon. For decades, researchers have pointed to strange anomalies in NASA photos. Blurry images of what look like towers, geometric shapes in craters, and objects that cast impossible shadows. These have always been dismissed by officials as camera tricks or pixelation, But Aldrin's telegram suggests these tricks are very, very real. The MD protocol was likely a contingency plan. If you see structures, if you see anything that is not natural, use this phrase, "We will handle the cover-up." But the telegram says the protocol is broken. This implies the presence, the it, did something unexpected. They know we saw it. The astronauts didn't just observe this thing observed them back. Imagine the terror. You are 240,000 miles from home in a tin can, and a silent, watching presence on the moon turns its attention to you. This reframes one of the most mysterious parts of the Apollo 11 mission, the 2-minute radio silence. The official story is that it was a simple technical glitch, a switchover between tracking stations. But researchers have long claimed this silence was intentional, that it was a moment where the astronauts were communicating on a private, secure channel, reporting something so shocking that Mission Control needed to cut the public feed. Aldrin's telegram, "The silence is not empty. It watches," seems to confirm this. The glitch wasn't a glitch, it was the exact moment they saw it. What many overlooked is that Aldrin wasn't the only one who acted strangely. Many of the Apollo astronauts became deeply spiritual, reclusive, or philosophical after their missions. Edgar Mitchell of Apollo 14 famously became a huge believer in unexplained aerial phenomena, claiming he was 90% certain, "We are not alone." We were told this was just the overview effect, a natural psychological shift from seeing Earth from space, but Aldrin's message suggests something more. It suggests a shared trauma, a shared secret. They were all part of a lie. The telegram even gives us a clue what the lie is hiding. Do not trust tranquility-based coordinates. This is a direct challenge to the official record. For years, independent analysts have tried to use photos from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, or LRO, to pinpoint the exact landing spot. But the images are strange. The area looks cleaned up. The descent stage of the lunar module is there, but the surrounding area seems disturbed in ways that don't match the astronauts' boot prints. Aldrin's message provides the answer: they moved the marker. This implies that the real landing site, the one where they encountered the watching presence, has been scrubbed from the map. The coordinates given to the public, the ones the LRO is supposedly photographing, are a decoy, a fake location miles away from where the real event happened. The thing nobody tells you is that a radio astronomer would be the perfect person to send this to. This astronomer wasn't just a friend, he was a man who understood coordinates, deep space tracking, and radio signals. Aldrin wasn't just confessing, he was giving his friend the tools to one day find the truth. He was pointing him to the real location. This hidden message completely shatters the image of Aldrin, the hero. It replaces it with something far more tragic: Aldrin, the terrified witness. But if NASA faked the coordinates, what else did they fake? The 50-year cover-up. The telegram's most specific claim is also its most damning: do not trust tranquility-based coordinates. They moved the marker. This single sentence is the thread that unravels the entire 50-year-old story. Why would an agency at the height of its triumph, a moment of pure American victory, lie about something as basic as where they landed? To put it mildly, you only move a marker for one reason: to hide what's next to it. This leaked telegram is the key. Aldrin is stating in no uncertain terms that the true landing site is a classified location. The place we call Tranquility Base, the one tourists will one day visit, is a stage, a property. So what is at the real landing site? This is where Aldrin's other cryptic words come in: the silence is not empty. It watches. For decades, amateur astronomers and researchers have cataloged thousands of strange photos from the Apollo missions, photos that were released in official archives but seem to show things that shouldn't be there. In the background of some of Aldrin's own pictures, dark geometric shapes rise from the lunar dust. In the reflection of his helmet visor, strange lights are visible that don't match the lunar module or the sun. NASA has always had simple explanations: ice particles, lens flare, botched processing errors. But Aldrin's message, "they know we saw it," suggests these weren't errors at all. They were evidence. Think about the timeline. The astronauts land. They have their famous 2-minute radio glitch. According to this new theory, this is when they see it. A structure, a machine, a presence, something so undeniable and so alien that Mission Control cuts the feed. The MD protocol is engaged. Aldrin says magnificent desolation over the public feed. It's a signal to the secret keepers at NASA. It's here. But then something goes wrong. The EAT reacts. They know we saw it. The mission of exploration instantly becomes a mission of escape. This explains the astronauts' hurried exit from the moon. They were scheduled for a longer rest period, but they cut it short. The official reason was fatigue. But what if it was fear? They had disturbed something. They had been seen, and they needed to get off that rock as fast as possible. Once they were safely back on Earth, the cover-up began. The thing nobody tells you is that the Apollo astronauts were immediately put into a 3-week quarantine. The public was told this was to protect Earth from lunar germs. This was always a flimsy excuse. The moon is a sterile, airless environment. The real reason for the quarantine? It wasn't a medical debriefing, it was a psychological one. It was 3 weeks of intense reprogramming. 3 weeks for NASA officials and intelligence agents to drill the official story into the astronauts. To make sure they all had their facts straight. To establish the lie that Aldrin's telegram talks about. They were taught to say magnificent desolation and mean it as poetry. They were taught to describe the silence as peaceful, not watching. And most importantly, they were given a new set of coordinates for Tranquility Base. The real landing site, the one with the alien structure, was immediately classified at the highest level. They moved the marker. The location was scrubbed from all public-facing maps. The photos were doctored. The radio silence was blamed on a glitch. The lie, as Aldrin wrote, was born. A lie to protect the public from a truth they couldn't handle. We are not alone, and our first contact was a terrifying, silent standoff. Aldrin, a military man, understood the need for secrecy, but it broke him. The weight of that lie, the knowledge of what was up there watching, is what led to his decades of personal struggle. He wasn't a fallen hero. He was a prisoner of the truth. So, does this mean the entire moon landing was a hoax? What this telegram means for us. Let's be very clear. This leaked telegram does not mean the moon landing was faked. It doesn't mean they filmed it in a studio. In fact, it proves the exact opposite. They did go. But the story we were told about what happened there is a total fabrication. The lie Aldrin mentions isn't that they didn't go. The lie is what they found. This is what so many people watching this are looking for. Not a crazy theory, but a missing piece of the puzzle. This telegram is that piece. It suggests that NASA's triumph was, in reality, a narrow escape. They went to the moon expecting a dead world and found a sentient one. They found something that was ancient, powerful, and aware, and it did not welcome them. Think about this from NASA's perspective in 1969. The Cold War is at its peak. You just confirmed that a non-human intelligence exists, and it's right on our doorstep. You can't tell the public. It would cause global panic, religious collapse, and social chaos. The thing nobody tells you is that secrecy was their only option. So they created a new narrative, a story of magnificent desolation, a story of rocks, dust, and peaceful silence. They buried the real data. They moved the marker, and they swore the astronauts to secrecy, binding them to a lie that would protect the world. The telegram proves that Buzz Aldrin, at least in his later years, wanted the truth to come out. But he was terrified. The lie is the only thing keeping us safe. What did he mean by that? Did he believe that if humanity knew about the watching presence, we would try to contact it, attack it? That the it was only leaving us alone because we were leaving it alone? The magnificent desolation was a magnificent lie. Do you think we're being told the truth now? Let us know below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.